Hello, I'm Cindy Ehrenberg-Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to another edition of Future First, focus on Broward's children. As you can see, we have a different set today. We've taken the show on the road and we're broadcasting from our office on Commercial Boulevard. But now to the meat of the show. Most available data indicates that early literacy and school achievement are a crucial gateway to lifelong social and academic success. A key component of this achievement is the involvement of parents and caregivers in the educational development of their child. But parents don't always appreciate their essential role in this process. A number of models have proven successful in engaging parents. We're going to talk about one of them today, one that's reflective of the uniqueness of our community, and one that reflects the effectiveness of peer-to-peer interaction among parents. It's called the Community of Hope, the Parent Dream Team. Here to talk about this approach are Wanda Robinson, Parent Engagement Specialist with the School Board of Broward County, Patricia Escoffrey, National Achiever Parent Board President, Sheryl Negash, a contract consultant with the Casey Family Programs, and Courtney Biscardi, Vice President of Programs and Operations with the Urban League of Broward County. Later, we'll hear from Cyntheria, the principal at Broward Estates Elementary, a school that is successfully adopting this program. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Courtney, I want to start with you.
Sure.
The Urban League is one of our great providers of after-school programming from the elementary through high school years.
Yes.
But this program is focused primarily at elementary, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you decided to get involved in taking this new approach to parent engagement. Why?
For a number of reasons. One, it's a mission match. So the Urban League really desires to help individuals and families achieve social and economic equality. So from that position, this type of work, working with parents and schools and helping to have an impact academically for young people just made sense. But also because we're uniquely positioned to connect with a lot of segments of the community. We had an opportunity to work with Casey Family Programs. We also have a great relationship with the school board, CSC, and we actually are the parent of a National Achiever program that really works with parents who desire to help their students academically perform in school. So in hindsight, looking back at all of the entities that we worked with, it made sense for us to bring them all together as a convener to say, how do we show some impact related to the data that we've been seeing in school performance?
And Casey Families has been involved in this peer-to-peer work. How did you get involved with that, and how did you come to Courtney?
Casey Family Programs is the largest operating foundation in the United States that focuses on safely reducing the number of kids in foster care. So to do that, we are building communities of hope, working with local leaders around the United States to develop programs which will enhance and improve the lives of children and their families. And that is how we became involved with Urban League. I think it was about a year and a half ago that we started this discussion and tried to develop a program working with local leaders, with parents, with community partners to improve the lives of kids.
You know, one of the things that's exciting to me as I listen to this is how we're looking at the whole child and the whole family. There's a lot that goes on in where we talk about a program, and of course today we're talking about a program, but it's a broader view.
Absolutely.
It's recognizing the whole child who lives in a system that is their family system in the broader community system. And each aspect of that needs to be involved. And speaking of systems, Wanda, school board, big system.
Big system. Broward County Public Schools has always been in the business of encouraging and supporting parents as it relates to increasing or improving student achievement. This year we decided to actually go big and created the Office of Parent Engagement so that we could be very reflective of the needs of parents and students and make sure that our activities are systemic in nature and that we're able to not only support the parents and the students but also support the schools, because sometimes we forget that schools need our help in being able to fully engage parents in the ways that are meaningful.
And parents need help. I mean, I'm a parent of an 8-year-old. I was thinking over the weekend, oh my goodness, I just don't do enough in my child's school. So how have you found the time? You're a parent of 5? What was
6.
6. So what are you doing, and how are you fitting this in as well into your life?
It's making the time. It's not a by the way, and it's not by default. It's truly making the time and doing the homework, having the meal together, and having these discussion, simple question as, you know, how was your day? It makes a difference because they have days just like we do. And if you're able to hear their point of view, for them to understand that their concerns are just as important, getting out whatever it is that's bothering them and supporting them and just validating whatever their thoughts are, I find that works for me in my household.
So you're talking about giving parents tools as to how to interact with their children?
Absolutely.
Is that what this is about?
Giving them tools and support, ways, not giving them support, but giving them ideas as to how they can support their children. For me, I know routinely we have meals together and we turn the TV off when we're having meals. I don't want to have you sitting at the table and turning your back to see what's going on in the TV. We're eating, and that's some of the time that we get to spend time together. So while we're having breakfast, we talk about what it is that we want to accomplish out of our day today. Focus when you go to school. School is not for playing, it's for learning. Break time, you can talk with your friends. And then when we're having dinner, when we come home, were you able to understand what your teacher is saying because you focus? And so now, you know, you tell me what you did, and I can tell you what I thought could have been done differently, so that way you're not asking me, how do you do this question again, Mommy? Because it was taught before the homework was sent home.
What I love about that is that I think parenting is not necessarily easy, but there are a lot of things that you can do that are easy to implement. And so I think for many parents, they don't know where to start. You know, you don't know what activities that you can put in place that would really make a difference. Someone may say, well, how does eating dinner with my kid, how does that help them successfully perform in school? Or how does reading a book to them at night, or just asking them how their day is, how does that have an impact? But it really does have an impact. It's a matter of the connection that you have with your child. It's a matter of them understanding that it's important to you, that they have value, that you really can learn from each other. And I think that really is what brought this to the table. The idea that parents sometimes feel powerless, and that you can empower parents regardless of income, regardless of where they live, that everybody has something to contribute. And I think that's how we keep families whole.
So let's actually explain the program. I think I jumped into a little bit more detail without actually giving the overview. Who wants to deal with, like, what is this that we're talking about here?
I'll speak to that.
Okay.
It is a peer mentoring program. Okay. So we're bringing together parents from the National Achievers, from Broward Estates, to talk to each other, to share ideas. We believe that there is no one way to do anything, and that we are looking to get tips and suggestions from a variety of different ways of parenting, so that everybody who participates will be able to learn something. So we will have peers who are mentors, and we will have peers who are mentees, but everybody will be in the learning circle to all help their children do better in school.
And how often do they get together?
They're going to meet once a month at the school. To prepare for this, we've done a variety of focus groups. So we've talked to teachers at the school to see what kind of assistance they would like to see from the parents. We've talked to young people to see what kind of assistance is most helpful to them in their minds from their parents. And then we've talked to parents to talk about different strategies that they use. There is no, one fix for everything. And that's the beauty of this program, which makes it a little bit different than other programs that we've seen. It's not classroom training, it's not a whole formal curriculum. It's mostly conversation and just sharing of ideas and things that have been successful, strategies that have been successful in the past.
Kind of reminds me of Mommy and Me, back when my daughter was a baby, and we would, while the kids were playing, we'd sort of say, here's a little topic for us to discuss, and who's having issues with this, and here's some suggestions.
It's very
and to
similar.
piggyback on that, and the concept that we came up with, having meals together and discussion, I made an observation. We went out as a family, and as we were sitting down, there was another family across from us, and they were eating, but everyone was on their phone. They weren't talking to each other. So they were at a table, but everyone was disengaged and engaged in their individual activities. And I remember leaving, and I said to myself, I don't want that to become my household. And in talking to my children and even having these discussions around the meal is when I truly understand what are their issues. what is going on, how can I support them, and for them to understand that mommy and daddy just doesn't get up and go to work and give you the food and the roof, but we want to truly know what it is that we can do to make you the best person that you can be.
So we try to do that. I insist on meals and talking to each other, and I get a lot of pushback. And then also like categories to talk about. Do you follow a certain routine to the conversation, or have your kids just accepted that talking is something that they're supposed to do?
I would say yes and no, you know, and it's funny because I don't set the table by myself. So each of us have our own responsibilities as to, well, I'm making the dinner, you can put the plate out, you can do the napkins. My little one is very funny. She wants to roll the napkins a particular way. My big one doesn't want it that way. So it usually sparks a discussion.
About compromise.
Yes. And so it leads into, once the ice is broken, it leads into, and whichever, we let it flow. It's not rehearsed, and it doesn't mean that there's anything that's off topic. Whatever angle it comes in at, we grab it and we just run with it.
You know what's neat too is that I think that every household is going to be different. Some are going to choose dinner time as the time that they spend and connect. Some are going to choose bedtime and reading a book. Some may choose bath time. I think every family can decide what that engagement looks like, but it doesn't have to look like any one thing. Absolutely. Because you have parents who work different hours that may not be able to spend that kind of time. But 5 minutes, you know, car rides. We have a very long car ride in the morning. We practice for spelling tests. We use that time in the car as connection time. So I think, you know, allowing the parent and the child to decide what rhythm they need to make it work.
I think the peer-to-peer component is very important as we discuss this program, because there are many parents who don't necessarily support their children in the same way that other parents do. Right. And it's not to criticize how they do it or what they do, but it's just to help build capacity within that family and within that community, so that they understand that there's no right or wrong way to do it, but they just may need some guidance. And so I think that to have parents working with other parents, I know that that is going to be very impactful for our community, because we're going to build that infrastructure and develop that ability within the community to support one another, because we can't depend on organizations, we can't depend on the school system per se to do everything, but we need to make sure that families understand that they have a role to play and that they can be supportive of one another.
And in fact, we're already seeing preliminary results that it is making a difference. And we're going to hear now from Ms. Cyntheria Hunt, the principal at Broward Estates Elementary, about how this concept of the Dream Team is working to engage parents at her school.
Well, recently we've partnered with the Urban League of Broward County to ensure that our parents of Broward Estates Elementary School receive some mentoring, some coaching, and some ways and strategies in which to help their students be academically successful here at Broward Estates Elementary School. And we've done that through having parent seminars, parent workshops, different school events that bring home, school, and community together to make sure students are successful. Basically, some of the challenges that we've experienced in the past was having the parents to come out and see the importance of partnering with the school to make sure their students are academically successful. And through the partnership with the Urban League and the Dream Team, the Children's Service Councils, we're able to do that now, because we're able to provide seminars on how we can help the parents grow personally as well as professionally. In any organization, once you have the peers do it, they take ownership of it, because it's easier when, as a parent, speaking to a parent, they understand from a parental perspective. However, when it's an administrator speaking with a parent, they think of it as an educational perspective or a teacher's perspective. So when we have parents buying into what we're doing here, it draws in more parents to want to become a part of what we're doing here at Broward Estates. We recently started, I think the first training was about 3 weeks ago, and I have seen 2 more parents come on board to my PTA and attend some of the school events that we've had. Recently we had a fall festival here at the school, and we had more parents to become active in that. So that's a good thing. Honestly, I have high expectations. So of course, I would love to see 80% of our parents become active in every event that we have here. Right now, if I can shoot for 50%, if we can establish 50% of our parents attending school events, volunteering, coming out to the different things how we showcase the students here at Broward Estates, that would be wonderful. And the way to do that is through this Dream Team initiative. When we spoke about this Dream Team initiative, we talk about monitoring certain kids, like a control group, looking at kids, probably from K to 5, especially the kindergartens through 4th grade. We can track them from K to 4, seeing if the parents are coming out to the different SAC meetings, PTA meetings, the urban leagues, some of the mentoring and parental events, and to see if they increase from kindergarten to 1st grade academically, how many of those, because we have parents sign in. When they come to any type of school function, they sign in. So we're able to track that and monitor if this particular parent attended so many events, how did that impact that child's success throughout the school year? I think it's a phenomenal thing because it has been said a threefold cord is not easily broken, and I know they speak about that in the spiritual realm, but I like to tie that into education, home, school, and community working together. We will achieve academic excellence here at Broward Estates Elementary School.